There are many hotels doing the same stuff. Thing is, it's a Bihari mutton.
Two chefs, one story of Indian food going global. Chef Manish Mehrotra reimagined India on the world stage, while Chef Romy Gill carried its traditions to Britain with soul, stories, and fearless flavor.
Chini Malai toast is the biggest hit of Champaran.
First thing everybody said, it's a calorie high thing. Nobody eats like Malai and all these things.
I was very much into regional food. I think I grew up on a steel plant where we spoke different languages.
Was Champaran mutton. No one had any clue about Champaran mutton.
Butter chicken, 10 kilos.
No yogurt, no tomatoes, and really, really good hearty mutton curry.
Male chef had egos. I tell you that. They had.
All of us, we are working on a different way, but all of us, we are working towards Indian khana.
This is Plated Stories, Season 2.
Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of Plated Stories. Chef Manish Mehrotra, of course, has been here with us earlier at another venue, but we are here at Nisaba, the most talked about restaurant which chef set up about 5 months ago.
Yeah, 17 we are going to fit.
Yeah, so we are at the right time. You know, I think you must have got 1,700, mentions in news and other media. So you're all over. So we are at Nisaba, and we have a very special guest, Romy Gill, an old friend and a brilliant chef. She's not only a chef; she's also a cookbook writer, television personality. Multifaceted personality. She's a Sardani from Bengal. She grew up in Asansol.
Yeah, chef is from Bihar.
Bihar.
Next door.
Far.
Yeah.
Romy, we'll start with you. Tell us something about your journey from Asansol to London. Why did you decide to move there? What was it? And when did you decide to become a chef?
I went to England in 34 years ago. It's been a long time. I wanted to go in hospitality, like hotel management, bolte the na chef. My mom had cancer when I was 16. She was diagnosed with cancer, and when she was having her radiotherapy, she was not able to have those flavors jo hamare hote hain. She was not able to, she would put a lot of spices or namak, and then she wouldn't even taste any of those. You know, she didn't have those flavors that she was brought up with, na? And so I said to Dad, I want to go in hotel management because mere sare friends ja rahe the. I didn't even understand it and I wanted to go. And Dad looked at me and said, no, you won't survive because there are very handful of women chefs. Tumko kuch samajh aayega nahi. I think when I went to England, I seriously then, when I met my husband Gundeep, and I really wanted to be in this. So I went to, Bristol City College, like a catering college, to a little bit to understand of it. But I'm very self-taught. So I wrote to different chefs like, there are Atul Kochhar, many other chefs I wrote to. Okay, I want to learn the trade, I want to learn how to do it. So I think a lot of chefs replied to me and a lot of did not. So I think if you have an understanding of ingredients, chef will be able to tell you more as well. If you understand and value your ingredient, you can make anything from that. Because I think first of all, aajkal we have a lot of chefs in social media. Everybody calls themselves as chefs. So I think when you understand your ingredient, you value your ingredient, you can do anything with that ingredient.
In fact, chef, that is something you have taught us in a sense. I remember once we had a discussion on crab from the Tamil Nadu coast. And I said, what is so special about it? And there was a talk, this serious conversation about it. Do you think today, when you're talking about ingredients, do you think that ingredient forward cuisine has finally found a place, a niche in India?
See, in India, ingredients were always there, but it was very, very region specific.
Right.
Nowadays, you are started getting ingredients from other regions also, which is very good. Like 10 years, 20 years back, nobody used to think, okay, I'll get something from Kerala or I'll get something from Manipur or something from Kashmir. But yesterday only I got a whole consignment of fresh trout, 3 kilos weight trout, Indian trout from Gulmarg.
Right.
And they are happy to supply all year around.
All year around?
All year around.
Wow. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Things are changing. And yes,
And you're talking about the hark, for instance.
Hark,
Yeah, now that is there on your menu throughout. You know? Yeah.
Throughout.
Right. So, then coming to it, talking about your menu, no? You talk about your menu being the food which new India, of what people like to eat, inspiration from the streets, as it were. What are some of the dishes that you feel that have really caught on, I remember there was a time when you were famous for Dal Muradabadi, or of course the Blue Cheese Naan, which I've talked about. But, at Nisaba, what are those hero dishes?
Hero dishes like Sikh kebab with blue cheese butter. That is very, very popular. People really like that thing. And it is inspired from all these Chandni Chowk places, Jama Masjid places where they make fresh Sikh, nose it in the butter, whether it's a Aslam ka butter chicken or a Qureshi ka butter Sikh kebab and all these things. This is inspired from all these people.
In fact, Aslam butter chicken is like a cholesterol bomb.
But it is
so much
delicious.
butter.
It is delicious. It is delicious. So the thing is, he must have innovated.
Right.
So now the thing is, there are so many innovators on the streets of India. You can just take inspiration from them and highlight it. Yeah.
So in fact, that's one thing. The one which, say, the Dal Muradabadi. Coming back to my favorite subject, you gave it a different touch. What did you do here which was different from what you have done in the past? And how did you get the idea of doing something on Dal Muradabadi?
See, Dal Muradabadi is a very basic thing.
Yeah.
So the thing is, people eat it with samosa, people eat it with the papdi, people eat it with jalebi also.
Wow.
So it's like sweet and savory ka combination.
Right.
Sweet, savory, little bit of chutney, say spicy. So it is amazing. So I did it with samosa, the tiniest samosa, so that the crispiness of the samosa is still there, but it's not too overwhelming samosa. Dal is still the hero.
Right. And is there a special way of making the dal or just the regular dal?
It's a regular dal, but there's a way of making it.
Right.
Ek dana nish, ghuti hui dal honi chahiye.
Romy, you went to London. You have done Indian food mostly, or or have you been doing different kinds of cuisines? You are known for Indian cuisine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't live in London, I live outside, so my restaurant was outside. But like chef, I was very much into regional food. Okay, when I went to UK, of course there are curry houses where they're very important part of British culture. They are, because we are today what we are because of them, I have a lot of respect for that, but not necessarily that I will eat that food. But I grew up in a very small town on a steel plant where people from, like my dad is Punjabi, he's from Punjab, he went, like my dad, a lot of people migrated to work on a steel plant. So I think I grew up on a steel plant where we spoke different languages. The community felt was very different. It's Bihar border, because where I was Asansol, Kulti, and then Dhanbad is a Bihar border. A lot of people from all over India. So I speak a lot of different languages. But at the same time, when I went to UK, I had in that mind, I want to do regional food, But at the same time, I want to be creative. So let's see octopus. I never ate octopus in my life, I've never eaten that. When I went to UK, I ate. So I asked one of my chefs, who's a Greek chef, she taught me how to poach it, she taught me how to flavor it with spices, and then I do with panchforan because I'm very Bengali in that sense, and then have tamarind in it. So, you have to be, I think, like, yes, regional food is great and chef does amazing stuff, but I think, like chef will also say, that you have to be creative, you have to be innovative, you have to be, I would say, to be different, you have to have your mark, isn't it?
True.
I think so.
Yeah, but you're talking about regional food, one of the things that you popularized in your earlier avatar when you launched Comorin, was Champaran mutton. No one had any clue about Champaran mutton.
I knew.
So, how did you come up with the story? Because as you said that there's nothing called Champaran mutton. In Patna, you never had Champaran mutton. So what is the story behind it?
See, it's a basic mutton curry without yogurt, without tomatoes. It's onions, the onion heavy gravy with green chili, ginger and garlic. That and everything put in one pot and cooked together.
In mustard oil.
In mustard
Yeah,
oil.
right.
In mustard oil. So, and there is a meat masala which you put. There's no different types of masala. One meat masala. It's an easy going kind of a curry which is slowly stewed in a mud pot. And that's the Champaran mutton or Motihari mutton, whatever you want.
Ahuna mutton is a...
Ahuna mutton,
Yeah,
you call it. So I call this thing the anti-ustad mutton. Because the ustad, Lakhnaou ustad, इसके लिए अब ये डाले, अब ये डाले, अब ऐसा करे, अब ये करे. This is everything in one and it is delicious.
But also in Bihar, chef, they do this. You know, they do this dish and they make it. That's why I always say to people, a lot of people should eat food from Bihar because people don't know they make the most delicious food.
And for instance, your Ahuna mutton here, you name it after a hotel in Motihari.
So it's a Motihari mutton.
Okay.
The story which became popular,
Right.
that there is a place, Jaiswal Hotel,
Right.
and it came from there. I went there.
Right.
It's fine.
Right.
But there are many hotels doing the same
Right,
stuff.
right.
But the thing is, it's a Bihari mutton,
Right.
which is made in households also, workers also, and everybody makes this thing
Yeah.
with no yogurt,
Right.
no tomatoes, and really good hearty mutton curry.
Right, exactly. And like a no-nonsense mutton curry. Yeah. In fact, it's very interesting, talking about Jaiswal Hotel, places like these are discovered by some YouTuber or something and then they become viral. And the whole world thinks that, this is the birthplace of this mutton curry, which actually is the way mutton is eaten, say, in homes
Absolutely.
on Sundays or something, Romy, which is that one dish or maybe couple of dishes that you found a big following for in your restaurants?
Butter chicken, 10 kilos. I think I was very clear that I will not do poppadoms, which is papad and chutneys. I would not do those recycled chutneys or any. मेरा बहुत clear था mind में.
Right.
I'm not going to do that.
Right.
Because I just think I had to be different from a curry house. Okay.
Right.
I had to be very different from other people. So we always used to made it very clear of that. But also I think there was butter chicken, which is people are used to it. You have to make it, and I learned from Chef Gill.
Okay.
Chef Gill taught me how to do it.
Right.
Chef Gill taught me how to do dal makhni. But for me, I think it was the octopus and the crab pate that we did, or different things like if I do fish moily, but I would use a hake, or I would use monkfish. Things like that I would create in a very different way. I think that's how people come to know. Or samosa chaat in Bengal used to be with ghugni.
Oh, yeah.
So you change a little bit. I think I had to be very creative because when I started out, it was very much male-dominated.
Right.
Chefs, chefs. All the chefs have been very kind to me. Chef Atul, Cyrus Todiwala, Vineet Bhatia, or Vivek Singh. So I think all those chefs were very kind to teach me as well. In many different
Right.
ways. But I think when you have a restaurant, or even if you're doing a supper club, or if you're on television or social media, you have to have your thing. You have to also, chef, acknowledge people. Like if you learn from someone, you're inspired from someone.
Right.
Like chef ka jo sheikh kebabs, I love it here.
Right.
But then I went and home, I said, isko murg banaungi, but lot of butter deke banaungi. So you get inspired from people.
Right.
You have to acknowledge those people. I think that's what I
Right.
find when people don't acknowledge people, that make me really cross about it.
Right.
Because at homes, if you go to different states, because I write for different, I write for New York Times, I write for different publications. I'm not born learned. I have to learn from people. They give me their stories. They open their doors. You
Right.
have to acknowledge people.
Right, so now you have just been appointed the executive chef of the PEM in London. It's a new restaurant which is opening at the Conrad, in a very prestigious address, and a restaurant with heritage. I mean, it's reopening in a sense, and the PEM is also known, is named after a woman suffragette leader. Tell us a little bit about the restaurant and what food will you be serving there?
So the PEM means it's Emily Wilding, she
Yeah.
was one of the leaders who was one of the founders of suffragette. So suffragette, people who don't know, so women didn't have right to vote. She was one of the holders of that. But also, I don't know if a lot of people will know Dilip Singh. So Dilip Singh was taken by the British to abroad.
The Prince Dilip Singh. You know?
So unki daughter, Sophia was one of the also the suffragette. So I had that, in that when they asked me, wanted me to open that, and that's how Emily Wilding was called by the family Pem with love. जैसे घर पे हमारा नाम होता है, she was called the Pem. So we wanted to keep that name, but my menu is called Dawat. So it's
an Indian menu.
Oh yeah, it's an Indian restaurant, chef.
I thought you had sort of pivoted to European cuisine.
No. It's a restaurant. Is the Pam, but the menu is Dawat.
Okay.
I wanted to have a Dawat come. It's a feast.
Right.
So it's an Indian menu.
Any dish that will stand out there?
I'm bringing back my octopus because that's the one that
you love octopus. It seems, isn't it?
I'm okay, but people love it.
I find them very squishy and sort of. I've never. I don't know about you, chef.
India, I usually don't.
Yeah.
But yes, outside you get a very then you get a proper big ones with quality, so you can work on that. Yeah.
I think it's also the restaurant is like when I write for different publications with the books. It's all through my travels. The recipe, all the menu is through the travels.
Right.
So it's not just कि पंजाबी का ही है या Bengali है या. It's through my travels I've created that menu.
Right. So, chef, we know that Romy is the author of 3 cookbooks. You wrote a fantastic book based on Indian accent and with great photography by Rohit Chawla. I still have the book very prominently displayed on my center table, in the drawing room. So, tell me, you're not planning a second book, you said a little while. What is it going to be about?
It's going to be the regional, different region, what I do here at Nisaba and what I did with Comrin and all, those recipes which are inspired by the commoners. Chini Malai toast, I don't know who imprinted that dish.
कितना मजा आता है ना?
But
and the chini malai toast is the biggest hit of Comrin.
So when I first put chini malai toast, the सबसे biggest problem was that first thing everybody said it's a calorie high thing. Nobody eats like malai and all these things. I said everybody will eat malai, and everybody now it's a common signature thing. And so chini malai toast was one such thing, which so these type of dishes are going to be that this motihari mutton or dal muradabadi with samosa or wasabi dahi batata puri.
Wow.
So that became
Chini ka paratha rakhna, chef, with something.
Chini ka paratha is there in the Indian accent cookbook.
Okay.
Chini ka paratha is there. Meve ka paratha.
What is wasabi? Dahi
batata puri. That dahi
puri. Dahi batata puri.
Wasabi.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Wasabi.
Right.
Yeah, so these are the things which are inspired from different and with a little bit of my twist.
Right.
So that is going to be the menu.
I think also for me, when I met Chef long time ago, I think Chef is one of the most pioneers. I always say I did a Food on Edge talk in Dublin and I in North Ireland. I talked about Chef because I think Chef is one of the pioneers, institute, a foundation of fine dining in India and abroad, and people should understand that because Chef what did with the understanding of street food, if you go to Ghar Ka Khana and how he created those dishes in a fine dining space, it's amazing because he like when I was talking about an ingredient, Chef picked up an ingredient and created something magic,
Right, because I remember the way used to, of course, in the days when foie gras was still allowed into India, you made the foie gras galati kebab. Amazing.
Tandoori foie gras was one dish. So I think, see, ingredients all over the world, if you are open about it, like 50 years back in French restaurant, nobody would imagine that they will use tandoori spices. Now they have tandoori spices or lemongrass or seaweed, all these things they will use it. They are very proud of their ingredient. And now everybody is using everything all over the world. All over the world.
Right.
So cuisine has become, and ingredients have become more, no boundaries basically. It's about what interpretation, what individuality a chef is getting in that dish. That has become more important. See, I do Indian food, she does Indian food, Himanshu does Indian food, Gagan does Indian food, Prateek does Indian food, but all of us, we are doing modern Indian food, or everybody's food is, because her food is Indian food with her own point of view and her own individuality. I do Indian from my point of view.
Right.
Prateek does it from his point of view, Gagan does it from his point of view. So it's all Indian food, but it's different.
Right.
Nobody can say, so that's what I'm saying.
And also mindsets, you know, because the food is created in the head.
That is how Indian food can go travel. That is why Indian food can go forward and become a 3-star Michelin.
That's right. It's amazing, you know, sort of, you know, so lovely talking to you. And I think, you know, what Chef said now, you know, it makes so much difference, you know, that today we have so many people, and it's young and veterans like him. Of course, he's not a veteran.
And he's not. He's a young.
He's very young, you know, young veteran. So
He started very young.
So, you know, people like him are really redefining Indian cuisine without meddling with the basics, you know. I think
now there is another way, is now all the chefs, all of us, we are also now going back to basics, and like this restaurant is from Indian accent, this is back to basics. For the tasting menus and all, I will do a smaller place. So all of us, we are working on a different way, but all of us, we are working towards Indian khana.
That's so good. I mean, it's like a International Republic of Indian Food, you know, Global Republic of Indian Food, let's say, you know, and we are all proud citizens of it.
I think also we learn from each other. I think that's what I've learned years ago. Male chefs had egos. I tell you that they had, but I think it's changed now. Chefs are changing. Chefs want to teach you. Chefs want to learn from you. I think a lot have changed now in years, because I think also people, like Chef said, we all are different. We all have a place. We can't cook like, I can't cook like Chef, and a chef will obviously cook like me, but you know, we all are different.
Octopus like her. So it's everybody's individuality.
Yeah.
And I think Indian food is having its moment.
Very much.
New York, at this point of time, the hottest restaurant in New York are Indian restaurants.
Sema is number one.
At this point of time, Ambassador.
Okay.
My favorite restaurants, Clubhouse.
Musafir, Sema, Adda, Dhamaka, and now Sujan's new place.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
So like, people are calling me. Can you get me a booking? Can you get me a booking? So can you believe that?
Right.
Yeah.
It's just about Indian restaurant.
And when Indian opened in Chicago, within 6 months it got its first Michelin star.
But now there's no booking. So that's what I'm saying. So Indian food is having its moment, and it is going to.
I think people have started to understand that Indian food is not just Indian. We are very different from each other. We have regionalities, but also Indian food has traditions, rituals, weddings mein kya hota hai, lots of different things. I think that people have come to, and then travel had made knowledge, you know, traveling, of course social media as well had made people understand that Indian food is just not Indian. You know?
Amazing. On that note, it's a fantastic way to end our discussion, especially because at We the Chefs, we spend all our time celebrating Indian food in its regional diversity, and our home chefs are flag bearers of this regional diversity, you know. So what you are talking dovetails into our philosophy, which is a great great synergy to have. So good to Romy, to have you in Delhi.
I know. I just want to say I'm so happy to do this with Chef. Chef knows I'm so happy to do with him. I love Chef Prateek. I love
his
fandom.
fan club is international.
I know. He is. Chef Manish and Chef Prateek is one of the chefs I love in India. I think they're doing something magical with the ingredients, and they're also kind. That is what I think is very important, to have that kindness, to share the knowledge. If you don't share the knowledge, it's going to stay with you. You know.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, and a great note to end it. And all the best, Romy, for your next for the pen, your big new.
You guys have to come.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Chef, within your time limit.
No, don't worry, we have to have lunch.